Try to tell them we up next, you can't stop that. This your favorite podcast. Every show is lit, baby. You know what we finna do. Slick gon' talk that slick talk, he gon' get political. Okay. Do not switch topics, niggas is toxic. Poppy shots don't always saying something wrong, but if you don't like it, what we saying, nigga, oh well. We try to tell you, baby, this might not go well. This might not go. Hey, that's it. One take. We're not even doing it again. Keep that. That's the one.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of This Might Not Go Well. Yeah. Episode 91. We in the building. You already know who it is. It's the host with the most, Be Breezy, aka Poppy Sazon.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Slick Grayson. What's going on out there?
Yeah. Before we get started, please follow us on all social media. This Might Not Go Well. If you have any branded deals, business opportunities, please email us at thismightnotgowell@gmail.com. Episode 91. How you doing this week, brother?
I'm chilling. Episode 91 in the building, but I'm a little tired. Been working, learning how to wear many hats, but it's all good. It's Friday. Tomorrow, Call of Duty Day. So regardless of how the week ends, hopefully end on a good note. But if it doesn't, I'm coming home to shoot people and their children. So it's lit. How about
That's
you?
a fact.
How you feeling?
That's good to hear, brother. This week has been okay. I came to a revelation, brother.
Oh, shit. What is it?
Man, I'm a bad bitch fumbler.
Damn. What brought about this revelation?
What happened?
How'd you get there? I mean, I could have told you that, but still.
Well, you know me for a long time. You've seen how many bad Johns that I fumbled, and just a lot of one bite the dust. You heard?
Oh,
I'm accepting it. I'm embracing it now. You feel me?
You're a better man than me.
You would have never been. You're a bad bitch fumbler. Come on now. We always fumble something. Fumble the back here or there. It's a lesson learned. You feel me?
Nah. I mean, if it make you feel better, bad drinks is overrated,
bro. And that's my. You see, this is why you my guy. Because I was gonna go to this. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe God in life is telling me get me a medium ugly John.
You can't say that. But whatever. This is gonna be one of those episodes we're not supposed to say a lot of stuff, so it's fine. Carry on.
Hey, we already have a whole episode when a girl admit of getting medium ugly dudes. I agree with her.
Those girls keep medium ugly guys around to maintain their egos. What's our excuse?
She'll listen.
You think? I feel like some of the medium Johns be as bad as the bad John, because it's female pride is a powerful thing.
Man, we're going to get to that in our talk segment. But the reason why is there's a certain level. Now, with the prettier Johns, they never really had to accept any level of accountability because it was always switching nigga season out with them. You feel me? Here's my thought process. Follow me along, Slick. Follow me along.
I'm listening.
All right. With pretty girls, they always had everything handed to them. They never really had to fight and scrap for anything per se. So once you start, getting into it, she don't really care. She can replace you with a better nigga with more money. Now with the medium ugly Johns, they got a little toughness to them. You feel me? They got a little grit. I already hear this in my head. We about to get canceled.
This is a complete B soliloquy. I'm just here to support you as you make your revelation.
They got a little grit. They got a little toughness. They ready to fight for what y'all have. You feel me? They know that they have to accept some sort of level of accountability. They know they have to admit when they're sorry. They know they have to put in effort to make the successful relationship. Now, once a pretty girl who always getting offers, who's always having a niggers chasing after them, they don't really have any time to really work on themselves per se. I think a medium ugly John knows how to improve her characters and understands where she went wrong in certain situations and improve. I don't think Pretty Johns have enough time to even get to that caliber yet. That's why I'm sitting here saying a medium ugly John. And a medium ugly John, I'm just using this term because that's what Nicole, if you listen to the episode, used. So I'm not saying she has to be completely ugly, but a step below than a bad John. Whatever ugliness is your scale. So don't cancel me when you hear this episode. Okay, I already hear you about your fingertips typing, baby girl. Stop it. I ain't call you ugly. You feel me? You all beautiful. I kiss you in your forehead. All right.
I think it's because you're using the word ugly. So you just mean not. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like, but then again, it's women ego. So we can't even call, if they're not top tier, then what we gonna call them, mid?
Yeah, average.
Okay, you see, that's not gonna work.
I mean, you can call a guy average, and I'm not gonna cry about it. But I'm gonna say, nah, because I know how to fuck. So, because I'm just saying, if medium ugly still has the same negative connotation. If I walk up to a girl and I say, yo, you know what? You medium ugly. I'm getting punched in my fucking face.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So I mean, but we can't say medium though, because. Damn, we can't even say ugly because, girls in their ego and pride. So what we got to find a nice little political correct term.
That's what I said. You can't say ugly. You just got to say you got to find a late bloomer. There you go.
Oh, you hit the nail on the button right there.
I mean, I wasn't.
You got to get a late bloomer. Shout out to all my late bloomers out there. You feel me?
Because late bloomer, they got personality. So it's not just look. If you've always been pretty your whole life, then, jury's out on you. You might have, you peaked early.
Yeah,
can't help you.
Like niggas is laughing at your jokes and your shit not even funny, mama. You feel me? My late bloomer chicks had to really work on their personality because they didn't think they was gonna glow up. You feel me?
That's offending.
They really had to develop hobbies. They had to develop tricks. You feel me? Juggling and shit. You bad Jones don't have to do none of that.
That's true. I love a good personality, and you find when we dress up. I love it. You find when we dress up. Pretty girls be having to be all dressed up all the time. Like, why you got all this expensive makeup and shit on?
Give me a girl who looks 95% homeless all the time, but that 5% killing you hoes.
OD.
You feel me?
OD. And that's light on the makeup. Don't even get her lashes done.
You hear it here first from This Might Not Go Well. Bad. I'm trying to stop saying bad bitch, but Bad Jones is overrated.
Bad Jones is for the dudes with the money to blow. I'm sorry.
Late bloomers is for the ones you want to grow with. You feel me?
And me joining in with the fuckery. Yes, the bad Johns. There's a certain amount of money you need to have with the bad Johns. You could probably anybody can clip a bad John, but to maintain a bad John, yeah, that's a full-time job. So yeah, we don't.
Yes, because that maintenance is crazy.
It's like working at McDonald's but paying a car note for a Benz. It's just not like, why would I do that? That just it's not a good business or life decision. I understand you wholeheartedly, brother, but you want to. So you don't think you can get the young lady that you fumbled? You don't think you can get it back? Clip.
I mean, I could get it back because I'm a bad bitch myself.
So you can only use bad bitch when you're talking about yourself. Fair enough. I'm not mad at that.
Nah. I'm just doing that for entertainment. I mean, I can get it back. It's just that. I don't know, Slick. Matter of fact, fuck all this docky shit we got over here. We're gonna shoot the breeze. I think X told us we got to shoot the breeze more, right?
Let's go. Let's listen. Shout out to Failure to Report.
I don't know. Yeah, shout out to Failure to Report. They just released a new interview. He discussed makeup with a black female makeup artist. So go check that out. You feel me? Our boy's doing different things other than sports. So shout out to X from Failure to Report. And I know you're listening. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think me and you was discussing it this past a couple of days ago. The pride and ego is a big thing in our culture. Maybe I don't want to put it mostly on black folks because I feel like every time we talk, we mostly put everything on black folks. And I think ego and pride works on all genders, but I'm black. I don't have experience with mostly black stuff, so I only see stuff from all around our way. So hopefully, I don't want to continue putting shit on black folks, but I think pride and ego is a big thing in our society, man.
It is. I think that we put a lot of pressure on ourselves in relationships, in anything we do, but I think especially in relationships, you think that somebody not wanting you is truly a reflection on your value as a person. So I think that's why
you never and in this generation, you never want to let the other person have a one up on you. It's like you always want the last word in type of situation, and it's kind of like, damn, and that can stop you from a whole vibe because of that.
Not me, nigga. I don't be giving a fuck.
No, but Slick, come on now. You had situations where you was like, I let my pride get away in front of that.
Oh, back in the day, of course. Well, actually, no. I ain't go front. This might not go well. When it comes to dating, that's when my pride is probably the weakest. To be honest.
If you don't mind being a little transparent, my brother.
That's fine. I just think when I'm dating, like, single and dating, like, and even in a relationship, it's like, I have no problem admitting I'm wrong if I'm wrong. You feel me? And if the other person's wrong, I won't say okay, but I have the patience and, the wherewithal to try to, express myself and try to meet you where you're at, but also I'm going to give you opportunities so we can kind of see what it is. I think because that thing about pride and like a failed relationship, like I used to take it hard when people I break up with a shorty or shorty break up with me, because it's like, yo, dang, what was wrong with me? Type shit.
Yeah.
But as you get older, it's kind of like, yo, if you like something, I used to have that feeling, right? And it's like you try to wear 50 million hats for these different women you dating or whoever your partner is at the time. That's draining. And at a point, it's just like, yo, if I like you and I want you and we vibing, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Like, I've been on dates with women, and I've been like, yo, well, if I like you, like, this is what I can see. I'll tell you where I see it going. If we're just gonna have sex or it's just like an intimate thing, I'll say that. If I really like you and I really want to see it go somewhere, I'll really say that. You feel me? It's not a matter of like, I don't mind double texting if I like you. I also don't mind, not talking for days. Like, it's fine. You feel me? But I don't take that. You have to be really out here wilding for me to really get in my pride back. Like, you not hitting me back, or you like, leaving me on red and shit. Like,
so if you was texting her and she stopped texting you, but you see her active on IG,
I do the
what's
same.
your thoughts?
I do the same shit. Like, and it's like social media is almost like a second mind or a second home for some of us. Not in the sense of like you just unwilling, like you will not respond to a text message or a phone call, but you'll just be on that shit, right? And like young Law might have taken it as a slight, but after I figure out like people just be on their phones and don't be looking at their shit, or they've just decompressing from looking at that shit. It's okay, because I know if I see you, if I link you, or if you see me out, if I'm on that media, you gonna hit my phone, and I'm, when we gonna continue the conversation or have a new conversation, it is what it is. Like, I allow people to show me who they are. I guess that's what it is. And I feel like so digitally it's tough because people don't text, people are distracted. There's a lot of distractions and shit on there. So I'm gonna try to link you. Like, all right, let's link, let's hang out. Because if we hang out and we have fun, but you a shitty texter, that's fine. I know where I link you.
Oh yeah, because I do the thing when I mentally reply in my head to text message and don't actually reply.
I'm to the point in life where I will respond to you or type it, forget I sent it, then send it, and then forget I responded. And be like, oh shit, I did told you, and it's like, oh shit, that's just where we're at. You feel me? Like, it doesn't. Yeah. It's not. They don't have that much weight. Like, I think you know what it is too. You get to a point where you hope somebody, you feeling somebody, you hope they feeling you the same way. But at the same point, it's like, all right, well, you get here on your own time, Mom. I can't tell you when to like me or when to actually take me serious, and vice versa. You can't tell me when to like you and really take you serious, because everybody's on their own journey type shit. So it's cool to kind of say like that. I throw that pride to the side, because I'm like, sometimes people is just there for a lesson or a moment or some fun shit or some tough shit, and you go through it,
Oh yeah, but I think with social media, when you put in social media, sometimes the horror story. I think I figured out the one of the keys of why we in this vicious dating cycle. I think it's because we see all the horror stories. Because I don't know, you don't watch TikTok that much, but you remember there was like a trend where like individuals were sharing like the worst dating story ever. Mm-hmm. You hear about a couple people getting beat up by the dude and his side chick, or he cheated and got this, or she cheated and was on the phone with her nigga. You hear all these horror stories, and I think that kind of plagues a lot of people when it comes to dating, because not everybody just wants a one up just in case. So hey, you don't make me look stupid out here. Hey, I always had something in the bag, instead of leading with vulnerability and transparency.
Yeah, but that's just part of the game, because everybody hurt. Everybody dealing with some kind of pain, and they trying to turn that pain into profit. You tell these stories, you put it out, you get trending, or you try to jump on a trend or a wave, or you want that protection pack. At the end of the day, it don't protect you, because you still hurt. Hurt other people not gonna make you feel better.
Hurt people.
Yeah, I feel like shit. I'll be vulnerable and tell you what it is. You can either rock with it or be on your way. Like, I'm gonna still fuck with you as a person. If I fucked with you as a person before, I'm gonna fuck with you as a person. That might take a little bit of time, or our relationship might change. I think that's where a lot of people get it fucked up, where things like happen and you kind of pull away, and it's like, damn, you don't fuck with me no more. Oh shit, no, I still want that. I was wilding, or it was nothing better than back in the day where you were trying to mac with a John, and then she wasn't on your type of time, you wasn't on her type of time, and then now some shit y'all done been through life and mature, like, oh, that person was great as fuck, and now you try to get it back, and now they're a different person and they don't fuck with it, or you don't, or vice versa. Like that shit.
Oh yeah,
that's tells the age of time, because sometimes just time and shit don't sync up at the right moment. But that's just how it goes. It's the nature of the game. That's why I say it's okay.
And then speaking of the game, because we had this conversation a couple of days ago about the game. Now I understand. I'm not going to ask you to reiterate what you talked about as far as the game situation, but why is it the game? Like, not to be on no philosophical shit or anything like that, but why does it has to be the game?
Well, we grew up with it,
especially with dating. Why?
We grew up with it as the game. It was, how many girls can I bag? You feel me? Remember the wood? How many numbers you got? You feel me?
Yeah.
But what happened? Like, even in those subtle instances, when he got Alicia number, it's like, this worth 10 of these other girls, because that's a genuine connection. You feel me? I think a lot of times it's like the shiny car theory. Like, you see a shiny car or a shiny object, you want that object, even though the less imperfect stone might be what you need. You feel me? Or the less imperfect, like you need a Honda Civic, but you want a Benzo. Now you struggling to make payments, insurance kicking your ass, gas, and you feel me? Like, you want the appeal of it, or to be able to say, yo, yeah, I fucked 25, 30 girls, or yeah, my niggas fly me out around all the time.
Yeah, he bought me the TFA and all that good stuff.
But do you like him? Do you like her? Nobody asks those
have a
questions.
general connection.
Yeah, it's like either codependency or we're in a beneficial relationship. This person provides for what, you feel me? So I think that,
and also what type of connection you have. That's what a lot of times I feel like, especially when we were younger, especially looking back in my past and stuff, and other people's past. What type of connection you had with that person? Because a lot of people say they really like that person, but it was mostly a sexual connection. It was lust. You didn't generally like that person in the way of, I want to be with this person forever. And then sometimes you had it. And then did that person share the same connection with you? So it's always good to identify what sort of connection you have with the person, so you can know how to operate. Because I feel like a lot of people don't know how to identify connection with people. So they don't really know how to operate. And then when y'all both operate on two different frequencies, that's when obstacles arrive.
Oh, for sure. I don't even go back to your initial, like, about lust. I don't even think it's always just lust. I think is that a lot of times you're drawn to people who emulate something that you feel like you're missing. You feel me? It's like girls want the bad boy, and sometimes it's like, I'm not trying to get getting philosophical and all that other shit, but like sometimes they want the bad boy because it's like, yo, I grew up stable. I want a little edge in my life. I don't feel like I have edge, so I'm gonna go get edge from him. Granted, that edge is fucking you up, fucking up your life, or sometimes it works out, but it's like,
destroying your shit.
Yeah, at the same point. Or like, you want that I saw this earlier. It's like the narcissist, right? The person that's, all about them. They make things about them. But a lot of people, that's attractive, because it's like, yo, damn, if I don't have confidence, I can get confidence from my partner, not realizing that narcissism is just another fear tactic mentally that's happening. You're basically just trying to make yourself the thing, so you don't have to look at your flaws. So
exactly,
it's really intriguing. So lust plays a role. Self-value and self-worth plays a role. peer pressure and society plays a role. Because remember when we was on the exotics. First it was I need a foreign, I need an exotic. Oh, now I need a light skin John. Oh no, now I need a natural brown skin John.
I need a curly hair John.
Like, oh, I need a scammer. I need a bad boy. I need a guy with good hair, light skin. You feel me? It's all of these different things, and it comes from so many different eras. Whether you take it all the way back to slavery, take it back to the broken household, take it back to the self-worth. Like Sidney Poitier, think about the documentary. Like he had Diane Carroll. Was it Diane Carroll? Was that who his side John was?
I do not know.
I forget. It was a famous actress. He was trying to be what they said it was tough. He went and got him a white girl. Because it's like I can't be in public with this black woman. Like it's not gonna be taken seriously type shit. Like it's always so much.
Crazy in itself.
But you gotta think about it as society's layers. So it's always so many layers into how you go through a thing that it's hard to find a person that you want to have an authentic relationship. And at times, even when you want to do that, like they're so caught up in what they're going on in their life or where they feel like they should be at or what they're trying to do, that's how you end up hurting people even more, And then now that, like I said, you go through that cycle where later on down the road, oh, I'm trying to get back with you. Like, I realized I fucked up. Yeah, you did, but I'm not that person no more. You feel me? Or I can't give you that power. Now you got fear. Now you got pride. Now you got, you don't know what people go through when you make choices. But in terms of being like a baddie fumbler, I don't think that you are, and this is me being real, I don't think you're a baddie fumbler. I just think you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You're not pursuing the caliber of woman that you need that's going to push you ahead. I think that's the realest thing. I think in relationships as partners, you should be looking for somebody that's gonna push you ahead.
I get where you're coming from, and maybe there is some truth to that. I'm saying I'm more. Man, I don't know where to tackle this.
Attack it. Be honest. They want us to be real. We said, what's that?
We had a whole docket over here.
We still
had a whole docket.
Shit, we might. Well, I guess we do. I give him a little toxic. He might. We could scrap some shit and save it for an extra episode.
No, this shit gonna be old for next week, but we're gonna get to it. We're gonna speed through it. As far as being, and I just said that just over the course of the years of us knowing each other, there've been some Johns that, I fumbled, not, and it hasn't been fumbled just off of me. I admit that I fumbled a couple by my mistakes. I'm real enough to understand that. Some of them was just due to circumstances. Like, remember that one joint, that wasn't me. That was just the situation I was in.
It was a business.
Couldn't allow that situation to flourish the way that I wanted to flourish. You feel me? Yeah. And it's kind of like time separated it. So there's been multiple factors of why certain stuff fumbled. But I don't know with me, man. Maybe, you know what? Now, this is going to sound crazy, but maybe it's because I possibly have too many homegirls.
That's interesting. Say more.
And we keep it real with one another, platonic, by the way. Before women think I'm just trying, I don't be messing with my female friends like that.
I'm gonna say Brian just said he don't have no hoes. I mean, come on, keep going. No,
and maybe because I hear all the crazy stuff that they be doing, maybe I might possibly be scared.
I'm not saying fear plays a role in it.
Because I think we was having a conversation. It's like, yo, you fear to be used. Like, I don't have no problem being used, as long as I'm aware and I understand what I'm being used for.
Use me because I consent to it, bitch.
Yes, let me consent to being used. Because that's how I feel like with rich niggas. Rich niggas don't care they being used for their bread, as long as they getting possibly an even trade off. I think they generally okay. They understand the situation. They're not blind. But it's like when you trying to lead with pure intentions and then you get used, that's where the fear kicks in, and you're just like, oh, hold on. Because I'm definitely not the type of person that always trying to have a one-up on person. I'm just not. I can't really be talking to multiple girls like I used to in the past. I can't really do all that young nigga shit. I get tired and I can't keep up with that many conversations in a day. And not necessarily I'm saying I'm dating with intentions. Like, yes, I do want the whole, marriage thing and all that good stuff, bomb. But I do understand that not everybody who I talk to in that light might be, might be that would lead up to that way. And it's okay. I'm old enough to understand that. So we'll develop the bond first and then see if our intentions are mutual to go to that path. But I just think we're just possibly just the environment that I'm in can be, it can make me do some bad choices.
Yeah, I think let me be honest. Most times, not even most times. If you're really rocking with somebody, like there are red flags. You can not say there are red flags. But you could tell when a red flag is popping up, where there's something like, all right, this person is not being as open, honest, or sometimes you have your joints. You feel me? But I think the biggest fear that we all have is that, like, when those red flags pop up, you're like, I really hope you're not the person that this incident is making you out to be. Because that's the biggest thing. You don't want to wake up like, you really are who I thought you were when shit was going bad. You feel me? Because we always run into our negative bag when we get into the negativity and the bad shit. But I think, like I said, you said with the homegirls, you seeing how this thing's moving. When I was single and then, looking at my homegirls and what they was going through, I didn't hold that. I guess it might have been naive of me too, but I mean, like I said, I guess I never really said it here, but I used to be very naive about people and their intentions and whatnot. And it's like, you hear certain things and it's like, damn, that's cold blooded. But then I would hear what dudes was doing to them and I was like, oh shit, this is how the game go. It's scary because I feel like, again, a lot of times people go into situations with one thing on their mind. Like, oh, I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna clap that, or yeah, he's gonna be what, and they're never on the same page, and that's how things happen. So I think, like for you, like I said, like bro, you'll catch. You got money, you light skin, you tall.
Yeah, hype me up. No. You was hyping me up a couple of days ago. Hype me up on the public platform. Hype me up.
If I did that, I'd lose my allure. So I'm sorry, I can't do all of that. But like I said, I just feel like I'll be telling you offline, like I'll be telling you in here. When then I make fun of you because when they say you hate women, that's like one of the funniest shit of my day. Anytime we do this shit, but
bro, mind you, I'm a whole counselor out here for y'all, hoping y'all breaking guy code for y'all over here. Yeah, mind you, y'all do not listen at all. I tell you that right now. Hey, and I know some of my homegirls are listening. Y'all do not listen. Y'all are fall to the face type of individuals over here.
But nah, I think that what's this? I think that you just have to like put yourself out there. Like, and it's like, it is fearful. Pride is definitely involved because, like I said, nobody wants to be played. Nobody wants to be the nigga that end up on the memes like, oh, you fucking my girl? Yeah, here. Like, nobody wants to end up on that.
What? You feel me? You see that shit like
nobody wants to have some.
I never want to be chasing down a Jones phone and being like, a nigga hit me with that. I ain't gonna hold you. For a nigga hit me with a picture of my girl sucking his dick. Okay, wait, we gotta give context because
yeah, it's a wild state.
Give context. Yeah, give
essentially, there was a moment in time where, like, on the internet, they were basically like, girls are going on vacation and just being complete floozies. I'll use a nice word, even though I've been cursing the last episode. A
Jezebel.
Yeah, it is a floozy, and they was having sex with other dudes who are not their partner and coming home and lying about it, and the dudes was taking pictures of them. Shit was basically exposing them, right? And just like, yo, bro, like, you don't want to deal with that. Like, you don't want that stress. You don't want that fear. And I think that on both ends, because now I think about it. This might not go well. Sorry, grandma. I feel like our grandparents wasn't shit neither. But,
what?
But you know what it was? There was no direct contact with, like, shorty had to write a letter to your house to tell your wife about what you was doing. You feel me? You went 9, 10, 12 hours of the day without seeing your partner. So who knows what the hell was going on? Nowadays.
Now you got to share your location now.
Boy. So it's just one of those things where you just kind of like, it's a real fear factor in terms of, like, what things it's hitting for. So we really just want to, we having this conversation in terms about, like, what you went through, but it's also like just in general, like, yo, I feel like,
and for the viewers or the listeners, it wasn't nothing too crazy. It was just a revelation I had off of just accumulation of experience. The past is not nothing crazy. I'm not in my bag. You don't hear me playing Connect. Connect is not on. And by Connect, I mean Drake Connect song. That ain't gonna be my song of the week. You got it bad in the rain type shit.
Yeah, no.
Put that clarity out there.
You know what it is? I think. All right. I think that as we're in that, it's weird. I was having this conversation with one of my OGs, and he was just saying, like, our generation of man doesn't really understand their manhood until they're like 30. And being in that bracket now, it's like you really look at situations and you look at how you interact and entertain. It's like, oh, shit. Damn. I could have had you. Should have had you. Almost had you. What happened? Yeah. Maybe I just
and that was the main part of being a bad bitch fumbler.
So just like, yo. And I think once you accept that some shit just don't work out too, it allows you to be more vulnerable. Because like, all right, I don't go into this shit with no expectation. This shit might go past our conversation. I remember dating and be like, all right, if I never talk to this girl again, I had a fun night. If you had a fun night, we vibed. And those are some of the ones that hung around the longest. The ones I had expectations for. Those shits fizzled out mad quick. That's
a dead fact right there. Because there's been some ones that I'm like, yeah. Now you ever talk to a chick and be like, yeah, I can really see myself marrying this chick. Mind you, that should be the quickest. And
boy,
you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? But then the one that you was putting off to the side, you end up spending a year or two with her. You like, I really wasn't expecting you to be here this long type shit.
OD, like you was here this whole time? Look at you. Look at us.
He just got look. He gotta be on something like, look at us. We made it.
Yeah, so I mean, that's really just the deal of it. And I just think everybody needs to stop taking, like, when shit don't work out, stop taking that shit. So I guess that's easier said than done. But I think, like, if you really just put yourself in a position to be reflective and introspective, and just kind of like, all right, bet I can grow from this. And it doesn't have to be into another relationship. It could be like, as a person, like, I had fun. What did I like about what we did? What didn't I like? What, develop your preferences more outside of the physical. Because it's like, physical going to draw you in, but then it's like a car. A car could look nice, but as soon as you get inside that motherfucker, and it's all them excess buttons, and like, I don't need all this. This don't work. That's not saying the baddie gonna throw it at you, don't take it. I mean, you're gonna be stupid, but also be aware, like, what depth do you want? Is it a baddie with depth, or is it just like, you're nice on the outside, riding on the inside? And like I said, if you fumbling,
that's a great conversation. Gave you a little 30 minutes of, you feel me, some therapy. Hope y'all like it. You feel me?
I don't give a fuck if they like it. They come to the podcast. What's the pod? We just podded. They'll be okay.
Yeah, that's a fact, because sometimes y'all be complaining, oh, y'all be too toxic, or y'all be hating women, y'all be hey, we just had a transparency moment with y'all and all that good stuff.
Y'all better run them numbers up on that snippet.
That's a fact. All right, let's get down to what happened this week. All right, first and we got to send our condolences to Leslie Jordan. R.I.P., my good sir. Oh, man. If you don't know who Leslie Jordan is, he is an actor. And he been in a lot of things, but over the pandemic, he was like the joy of the internet with some of his reactions and some of his videos that he was making during the pandemic. If you want to play the video, Slick.
I said certified free, 7 days a week. Wet ass pussy.
Cardi B's new song, WAP. WAP, that's the acronym. Oh, Lord, no. I can't believe it. Well, that is just shocking. Oh my God, they some whores in his house. There's some whores. Well, that's just, oh my Lord. I guess, well, I don't judge. To each his own. I guess every garbage can has its lid, but, oh.
Garbage can has its lid. I fuck with him. I mean, a great guy, great energy, A lot of people sending him, talk about the favorite moments of him. RIP to you, homie.
Big facts.
All right, man. You already know what it is. I feel like every week we got something new to talk about this individual now. And he's been getting dropped like a hot potato against all his company. Slick, defend your man, Kanye West. He just separated himself. Ye had to separate ties from Kanye.
I'm about to say, what he do again?
Oh, man. He's been getting dropped from Adidas, Gap, TJ Maxx. I didn't even know they had Yeezy clothes in TJ Maxx. STEM, a product that he was promoting his album on, Donda, he got dropped off. You had Aaron Donald, Jalen Brown lead Donda Sports. I didn't even know Donda Sports president was Antonio Brown. Who decided to put those two individuals together?
They was hanging out. Well, yeah, I'm actually I've been paying attention to this whole thing happening. How do I want to take this first? It's definitely going to be introspective because there's so many different routes that you could take it in. I could do the popular narrative of Kanye's wilding out and, hate speech is not okay, and it's not. I could do that.
Don't tell me you're going to take the route of, oh my God, you don't see the big business move Kanye
I could do that too, even though I don't agree with it. But I do think that I don't think he done to this extent, but I told you what I say 2 weeks ago. He's trying to get these to drop him. He's going to say as much crazy shit as possible for them to drop him. I want to talk about it from the lens of society and the reaction and whether what he said was right. I think it's one of those instances of
wait, Slick. Hold on.
No, I'm gonna do it. I don't care.
Hey, that's one thing you don't touch in America. You don't question my people from Church Avenue. You feel me? You don't question those people.
It's not about questioning them, and I think that this is the part, right? And I'm not coming at it from an aggressive stance. I'm not defending what Kanye West said. I'm defending the point that he's trying.
It might not go well.
It's not might not go well, but I said that from earlier. Kanye West is actively one of the biggest narcissists, outspoken assholes in media of all time for a black person. Musically, we already know, we can attest to what he's created, right? I'm not going to throw the jeans word out there, but he's created some of the most timeless stuff for us modernly, right? But he seems to be on a vendetta, and whenever he feels like he has a problem with something, he goes too far. We can agree to that, right?
Yeah.
In this case, the point that he was trying to make versus the route that he took trying to make it is what is leading to this gigantic disconnect. And I've had this conversation. I've heard different points of view. I've had time to really kind of think about this, right? He has spoken about his jealousy towards the Jewish community for what they've been able to establish. He's called into question why black people can't have this. And I think that he is also kind of shown in his own, again, asshole narcissistic way that he wasn't necessarily, if he does more intellectual, he wasn't necessarily incorrect with his claims about how the control and power that reside within the Jewish community, because immediately once he said what he said, he lost $1.7 billion, went from like a $2 billion valuation to a $400 million valuation, right?
Oh, hold on.
He's still
hold on. That hurt. That just hurt.
But
you went for $2 billion.
You want
to? You went up.
But if you want to laugh, he's still better off than most niggas, right? Then we take that. He's already been stripped of his money, his company. He's lost everything, right? So in his place of, we don't condone hate speech, but his misguidedness of trying to address the inequities of the treatment of black people versus Jewish people, he fully, by probably not the way he imagined, illustrated that gap, no pun intended, in power amongst communities, right? And to say that certain elements of what he was saying are wrong, because again, we live in a clickbait society, so you're going to get the bad before you get to see the whole thing. Again, it's not justifying what he's saying, but the idea behind it. Like, we're not going to play clips of him, shitting on Jewish people, but even the idea that calling into question the Jewish community is anti-Semitic or going against them, I think that in itself is reflective of, and I don't want to say an issue, but for lack of better words, I will, because you can't even call out particular controversies without being called hate speech, anti-Semitic, and some of the things that he says.
Oh, but I'm gonna get to your point real quick because I heard this on Brilliant Idiot. Shout out to Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne. I think, and Chris Monroe, who is the producer of that show, said it like this: with what's going on with the economy and his comments, even though it wasn't as crazy as compared to like what Hitler said about them or anything like that in the past, but there's a fear from them because they're kind of comparing his speech to what Hitler did in a sense of
creating a media narrative around him.
Yeah, creating an animosity towards these people by you acknowledging their wealth, and they get blamed. And then and especially with the economy that we're in, then it might not be him that really takes us off, but it could be someone in the future, and then it could possibly lead to a lot of Holocaust. Even though there was different, if you know your history, there was different things that happened. The reason why
euthanasia was happening in the U.S. as well.
And then also Germany. You know, they bombarded Germany with a lot of stuff from World War One.
There was already
put them in a bad position.
So, I'm not. And again, I'm not saying what Kanye said was wrong. I am saying he was trying to make a point that would way left in typical Kanye West fashion. Now, again, I'm not on that master plan wave. Again, I'm saying Kanye is wrong. But I'm also, in this sense, Kanye went on national television and said slavery was a choice. His album sales continued to pump. He ascended to billionaire status. And nothing happened, right? But now he calls out a different group of people and they get him out the paint. And it shows the coalescence of power, you know, in the media, in the companies, right?
Yeah.
And I just think it's unfortunate, one, that, you know, anybody has to feel that feeling of like, oh, somebody's coming at us, somebody's taking shots, this, that, and the third. This powerful figure is drumming up old thoughts, you know? But to that point, as a black man in America, it is a tough pill to swallow when I see my people getting shot every day and we complain and we march and everybody's an ally, but nobody wants to pull money from certain things, you know? And I think it goes, definitely. And I think it goes to, again, not in a hate speech way, but the point I'm assuming he was trying to make about his jealousy and admiration for what the Jewish community has built, because black people don't have that. And it was just delivered in such a way where it's like, it's so venomous and disgusting that you can't support what he's saying verbatim, but you could kind of see why he felt the way he felt, if that makes sense.
Oh, of course.
And
of
I think
course. I completely agree with your standpoint. It's just I rather and I see a lot of people tweeting, "Hey, y'all didn't do nothing when he said slavery was a choice and everything." But this is something that if you're black in America, you should know already. Like
so why can't
we
you
do not have we if we was collective, we would have more power. But we should know that we're separated.
So 2 points. Why can't that be acknowledged without fear of cancellation? Again, like I said,
saying that wrong.
He said it wrong, but why can't that?
And also, he's comparing us into the thing about it is right message, wrong messenger.
Yeah, I agree with that. But the point of the matter is that anytime a famous person, we don't dare say anything about the Jewish community, and it's like there's no slight, there's no hate towards them. Like, I'm happy for what they were able to build, but it's also a matter of fact as you look at socioeconomic groups or groups of people that have been in similar circumstances that were not granted. And I think, again, it's tough as a black man. Like, I can totally write off Kanye West for saying some fuck shit. All right? But it's tough as a black man to know that, yeah, if he's trying to acknowledge that we don't have shit. And he could have just said that. Black people don't have shit compared to the Jewish, compared to the Asian, compared to, you know, we have never been allowed to establish this. Every time we had an opportunity or a spokesperson or somebody trying to unite us and rise up, we were further and further divided, you know? And I think that's a tough pill to swallow. And I'm like, Kanye West was the self-proclaimed, and numbers might have even supported it, was one of the three richest black men in America. They took that shit away from him. And it's like, yo, you fucked your shit up. But it also goes to show you, even if you in the Benz, you still a nigga in a coupe. Get back in line. So it's not about disrespecting that community, but again, I probably do sound like a Kanye. I'm not trying. I'm trying to say this in the best possible way.
I understand what you mean.
You feel me? Like, it's not about, to me, anti-Semitism. He said the wrong shit. I get it. This goes beyond canceling. Because when we've had people storm the White House, this is like, in general, societal observations. We've had people storm the Capitol and be acquitted. We've had people take out PPP loans during a pandemic and get that shit wiped away. We've seen black boys no older than the 8th grade getting gunned down in the street for wearing a hoodie or wanting to buy in Arizona and some Skittles. Laws don't change. Things don't change. People don't change. The system doesn't change. And it just kind of calls into that morality standpoint that, like, yo, money and power, influence run the world. It's not righteousness, Oh
yeah.
And I think that's what I took away from it. I don't give a fuck about I don't give a fuck about Kanye West. He said some hurtful shit. That happened. He's out the paint. Y'all, we removed him. He's done, right? Why that doesn't happen to people that don't look like Kanye West? So we're really going to have that standard of hate speech. Because say what you want. If I'm called a nigga by somebody that's not black, and then black person, I still might get a little offended. But if I'm called a nigga by somebody that's not black, is that not hate speech? But because my people have no power and influence, it is invalidated. There was a clip circulating. I don't remember the man's name. I'm not going to even try to speculate what it was. But he's a very powerful in the music industry. And he was having an interview with Charlamagne. He's somebody that's called for Kanye West cancellation, right? But when asked by Charlamagne, hey, if you feel like...
Oh, Leon Cohen.
Nah, it was somebody else. It wasn't Cohen.
Oh.
I know who Leon Cohen is. But he was basically asked, like, yo, is it not hypocritical that you can call out... I don't know if it was about Kanye West, but it was not hypocritical for you to call out black people for violence and drugs and shit, but you run these music companies that push that agenda and that propaganda. He's like, I got to feed my kids.
That's Leon Cohen.
That was Leon
the
Cohen?
interview.
You sure? I feel like I know who Leo is, but I'll check. I'll take your word for it. But just in that instance, it's like, damn, you feel me? I'm a commodity to you. I'm still a slave. You feel me? I can push this $1 billion agenda, but God forbid I be protected. But then one of mine ascends to your ranks and thinks he has the same civil liberties to say and push his agenda. And again, we're not agreeing with his agenda, but he's doing it. Like, he wasn't canceled for saying slavery was a choice. He wasn't canceled for making a mockery of our electoral system, right? When he tried to run for president, right? He tried to capitalize off that.
Yeah.
But he calls and improperly calls into question, or brings to public light, like, hey, your people are doing these great things. I wish my people could do that. And again, he doesn't say it that eloquently, if eloquent at all. He definitely says it in a way that is fearful and triggering. But saying slavery, indentured servitude, being ripped from your country and forced to travel by boat, 400 years of slavery, both situations is fucked up. One group of people were able to build community. One group of people is still struggling 400 years later.
But one thing, I appreciate your sentiment, and I definitely agree with you. But once we get into that when we get to that topic, there's so many factors that come in because we live in an economic society where someone has to be on a downfall.
You do. But
no matter what it is, someone has to be on a downfall. Now,
but
granted,
think about this.
Us black folks was made that way for a long time, and that's the reason why they wasn't allowed to get up.
But do you realize that when you go against that? Do you realize that when you go against that, you're called names like communist, like, you feel me? Like,
yeah,
and that's
a tactic.
But if you say like, yo, that shit doesn't work, or like, yo, y'all got something, we did it, does it not call into question the hypocrisy of our nation?
we've been jacking this nation, been bullshit since the Constitution was made.
And I'm just saying, we absolutely have. I'm just saying, like I said, with the Kanye West, he said the wrong shit, and we understand that, and we acknowledge it, and we are sorry for anybody that feels hurt by that. I'm just saying, he brought.
I'm upset with Kanye is because he sat there and really I don't want to keep dick riding Charlemagne, but he said it correctly. You sat here. You're not a thinker. He's not as a great thinker as everybody think he is.
No one thinks he's a great thinker.
He's basically reiterating what he's hearing from Candace Owen and his team and her team and those people on that side. He's not coming up with these general, oh my God. He is basically being force fed and trying to feed us these agendas. And it's crazy because it's like, yo, Kanye, we talk about slavery as a choice, but you're over here not making the active choice to really, really believe in what you're in talking about. And you over here following behind Candace Owen, not to blame her completely because he's his own man at the end of the day, but you're destroying everything that you have built. And the stance that you're standing on is not even a stance that you truly believe in.
That's fair. Like I said, I'm not here to focus on what he said. I just think that the idea of it, or like the way it's like the point was proven. You still a nigga in a coop. They took and it's like you did it to yourself. But it's also like you know who you were dealing with. But in the reaction, we've seen how the system works. We have no power. We have no say.
So that's why we should focus on getting that power instead of who's eating first on the table, your husband, your partner, or your kids.
I mean, even in that respect, it's like you said, there's somebody that has to be on the bottom. We're, to my, like off the top of my head, we're one of the only groups who aren't allowed to build that sense of community. We aren't given business loans. We aren't approved to buy things that, there's a lot of things like if you go through Queens, Hillside Avenue is very Asian Indian influence. Like they're allowed to have that community. You go to
they even got their streets named by a certain
you go to Astoria, the Latin American community is able to establish that community. They're able to get money and bring in businesses to do those things. And the black community, and you can say it's about not working hard. It's not about whatever, but it's like regardless, resources are not readily made available or taught. In that circumstance, you're not really seeing that. That's I think. Like he's I'm not gonna call him a martyr. He did it to himself. Like you feel me? He definitely he sacked himself. So it's like again, we apologize to anybody that felt pain based on what he said, but it does paint the picture of what it truly is to be black in America, right or wrong. You feel me? They get rid of you the quickness.
So okay now, if we replace Kanye West with someone else, do you think the action is still justified by removing everything he's a part of or canceling things that he's a part of?
We did it before with Nick Cannon. He had to apologize, remember?
Oh, yeah, but
he came back. He had to apologize. Do you think Kanye's going to apologize?
Yeah, no, he already did come out with an apology before the stuff started dropping. He already started his apology tour.
Oh, he did? We'll see how that works out for him. That might not go well.
Oh, and I also sent you the Breakfast Club interview thing. But with Kanye, I don't know, man. I definitely get what you mean, and you're 100% correct. I think with Kanye, okay, if it was just Adidas and Gap, I wouldn't go that crazy because he's been asking to be out of it and he's been giving them trouble for a long time. So I can see why they would be quick to drop him. But the STEM and then just Aaron Donald and all that other stuff, I was just kind of like, now y'all kind of dragging it now. Now y'all kind of taking it to a level that...
I don't think so. I think that's the game he played. He said this, like, once he did that, and especially he's in a billionaire club. That's an exclusive club, at least for niggas.
Oh yeah,
you feel me?
There's only a handful.
And so once he did that, And just in case he sparked some thought from somebody else with some power, like you said, they wanted to show, we will destroy you. So him losing everything, they fucking closed his school. You know, it's not really a school. They don't really get credits and shit. They closed everything, bro.
No, it came back. It came back.
Oh, they said
it's reopened. It only closed down for an hour. My boy brought it back.
Nah, bro. He probably finding that with some of his 400 million he got left. But it's just one of those tough situations because it's like, damn, I don't support what he said, but I understand the point that he was hopefully trying to make. If he was just trying to be an asshole to be an asshole, I'm like, shit, nigga, I ain't going on to this is what he meant to do type shit. Like, yeah, but if this is
so what would be a reasonable punishment?
I mean, there's no precedent for it because it doesn't only happens to black people. There's no white counter argument. You feel me? And I think that's what's also tough about it. Like for me, my hardest part in it was just like, well, yeah, we know that nigga about to get hit. You feel me? But it's like, again, if the grounds are hate speech, you know, bringing up shit from the past, et cetera, it's tough for me to accept that. Oh, it's hard for me. It's like it pushes you back in your place. It makes you feel Wale Boy's hopeless because no matter how much you quote unquote contribute to culture and society and how much money you make, you're not the boss. And I know I've seen people talking about ownership and shit like that. Like there isn't a way in this current system that allows for true black ownership. You will always be answering to somebody else who is not of your ethnic background, if that makes sense. You feel me? So it can always be snatched away, whether it's through nefarious means or you just saying the wrong shit on the wrong day, or, you know, or in Kanye's case, having a bipolar episode, if that's what he's going to call it. That's probably how he's going to try to frame it, use the mental health critics to his defense. You feel me?
But then I mean, he did that once before. If he does that again, then Kanye, when you do have a let episode, we're not going to listen to you, and then you're going to even try to do more outlandish stuff to be heard.
That's true, but
because this was bigger than the last episode that he had with the whole Trump thing.
I'm about to say, but even that, he was going at general white folk. They don't give a fuck. Half of them ain't like Trump. He went at one of the most powerful groups of people in the world.
He should have known better. You see how they give it up. I mean, I'm from Brooklyn, so. And one thing I know how powerful the people are. I'm from Brooklyn. They have bonfires. they be slamming chickens on the floor. They have their own hospitals. They have all that. I definitely see the power.
And I think
I don't know, because it's like, once again, someone always have to be in this society in this system that we're in this country. Someone always gotta suffer while someone else gains.
Yeah, man. Like I said,
hey, but we're not communists. Don't send nothing to this podcast over here.
It's not about. but you know what? I also think it's also scary because it's like, yo, freedom of speech, especially when you're adding context to it. Like, you're not just saying bullshit rhetoric. Is important, and I think that we, like, this time period, that was probably the worst thing to come out of cancel culture. The whites got a hold of it, and it's like, fuck. They could turn. Gotcha, niggas. Gave us another thing. You gave us cornrows and do-rags, and now and Nike sneakers. Now we got cancel culture.
Yep. All right. I mean, what time limit we at?
We had like 30 hour, almost an hour.
Oh yeah, we only talked about 2 topics. All right, let's speed through this quick. Okay, Black Adam movie, love it. DC got one with this one over here. It was funny. It was great. I just don't like how The Rock just came in and started speaking English right after he got summoned when he was speaking a different language.
The nigga has magic powers. You think he's not gonna be able to communicate?
No, okay, spoiler, but he literally got summoned and started speaking English, my nigga. If you saw the movie, you see how he got put into the stuff. He shouldn't be able to speak English within 5 seconds.
I don't know. I think anything is possible with magic. Disney Channel taught me that.
But great movie. DC coming up. Marvel, y'all need to stop releasing trash out here. The last couple movies y'all released was it was cool. I'm waiting for the Wakanda. I want to see what y'all did with that, but I see what y'all got. But DC, they got something with this one, and they got the Shazam movie coming out very soon. The Shazam looking good because Making Good is in there, because I love Making Good, so I'm gonna support her regardless. DC might be on its way. I'm just giving that. That's my quick review. All right, the Lakers trash. I don't know what the fuck going on with the Lakers, man. LeBron, 8 turnovers last night, bro. Fucking up my fantasy team out here. You feel me? What's your thoughts on the Lakers?
We know it wasn't gonna work beforehand. AD just looks like he's not that guy anymore. I think he had it. He peaked early and flopped. It's flopping late. He got his money, got his ring. I'm hopeful that they could turn it around. I see Braun was subtweeting, said they're gonna stop taking me for granted. I'm like, here come the Braun trade request. He see what they got in Cleveland. He about to be able to trade everybody. Go get me. I'll do it. Shit, him, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Mobley.
I think they should trade AD.
They should trade AD because you know what it is. The talent is there, but it's the mentality. And talent
injury prone.
Not even, but even when he's not. You don't see that dog. You don't see a Giannis that's going to get a bucket by any means necessary. You see a guy that on offense wants to shoot the jumper, and since the bubble, somehow, some way, he left it. I think the Monstars took his jump shot. He left it in Orlando. And
they can't get a 3 to save their lives.
At all. And it's just like, I was hopeful that, Russ would figure it out, or the new coach would figure it out. They are playing defense. Let's give them that. They got smoked the first game, but the last two, I didn't see the game last night, but two of the last 3.
I want to see that. That shit was trash.
2 of the last 3, they've been playing defense. They've been in the game. So
they just can't catch a basket.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. You add shooting to what they've been trying to do, it could work, but Russ is an expiring deal. If we're not going to even make the playoffs, I'm not even going to trade him. I'm going to let his deal expire and get that $50 million off the cap, preserve those 2 first-round picks. AD in one of those first-round picks, if a star becomes disgruntled and wants out, it's there. We could hope. But I think, you know what? If you go to a team with stronger leadership or their point guard is their leader, I think AD would bounce back. I think LeBron at this stage still puts up numbers, but he's not that world-changing player he used to be. And that's where you start to see. Like, you watch
understandable.
It. It's like
about to turn 38.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's understandable. But there's no other perimeter guy that's going to get him. Because I think if you take LeBron off this team as Westbrook and AD, it's like Westbrook lost 4 inches of his vertical and lost his game. And it's not a system that's conducive to where he can pound the ball for 35 minutes. So his stats look inflated. It's a situation where the ball's out of his hand. He realized at this stage in his career, he's not able to play that way. He's never been able to play that way, but it could look good because he could jump 45 inches off the ground. So he catch a lob or something. You feel me? So we can only hope they figure it out. But shout out to me beating you in fantasy last week, though. I had to drop that down. Let's go. Next topic.
You barely won over here.
What is it saying? What is it saying in the win column? What's my first initial, nigga?
Anywho, new Rory and Mal versus Joe Budden podcast. If you didn't listen, Mal made a slight joke in the episode with Sahai about Joe stealing. Joe didn't take offense, didn't like that. So, Joe fired back at them. And then this is what Mal had to say. You want to play that little clip real quick?
1 second. All right, here we go. Damn, what should I? Oh, here we go.
I'm willing to go on your platform, your new show, that still has my blood, sweat, and tears in it. Because everything and I know that's what pains him. Every time he pay for pussy, that's some of my money. Every single time he pay for pussy, that's some of my money.
Some of your pussy.
Every vacation, every vacation he take a chick on, that's some of my money he using. And that pains him. The most money he ever made in his life, he made sit next to me. That pains him. I know that pains him, but we had a beautiful thing. It worked.
I thought so. all built together. And I didn't think it was such a hard thing to say that the three of us built it together.
It pains him.
I didn't know that was such a difficult
All that Balenciaga
idea.
he's wearing, I'm paying for it. It pains him. It hurts. Every time he think he's fresh, he look in the mirror, I paid for it.
I can assure you, I did not buy these Lululemons with our corporate card. It was on my personal.
It's okay. You're my guy. Go ahead, swipe it.
Oh man. I wanted to talk about this, man, because I was a big fan of the Joe Budden podcast with Rory and Mal, and just to see how that relationship deteriorates the way that it has, and that they would never come back together, and just, bro, that just saddens me. I don't know how I feel about that, bro. Because especially with Joe and Mal been cool for over a decade or so. So for them to be that, and then for Mal to tell the world that, hey, Joe stole from us. And then, to be honest with you, he makes a great case, given Joe's back history with business when he was a rapper.
Hold on, you froze, my boy.
What?
You froze. Say what you saying. You froze.
Oh, I'm saying Joe doesn't really have a great reputation business-wise here, so I can see some validity. And also, Rory and Mal's story about what happened has not changed. And from what I've seen from Joe Budden through his I Am Athlete and other podcasts he has done, though, the reason why stuff hasn't broke up changes from his side of the story. I'm just sad to see all that happen. Absolutely. Your thoughts?
I mean, like I said, you're more ingrained to that shit than me. But like I said, I definitely, like you said, the story does change on his side. Was Joe the bigger personality? Yes, but sometimes you strike magic with, your boys. But money changes people. People see a couple dollars and, they don't, that should go out the window.
Especially when you was a rapper and you feel like, and he says it perfect. You cut it out before he said that. Mal said it perfectly. You felt like you made it this far with niggas who didn't put in no work, because Rory Mal wasn't nobodies before the podcast, and he was a rapper and everything, so he kind of felt like, hey, it's easy for me to feel like I brought this up instead of giving your boys credit for where y'all got to. And I can understand that, especially when given his, rap career, which didn't get to live up to what he wanted to be due to politics and everything. I can see now that he got the most success out of this is his biggest asset. This is what giving him a lot of his money and all that. I can see why he's so dearly with it. But yeah, once again, it's sad. It pains him, and it pains me to see all this goes down.
Nah, big facts.
All right.
Big facts.
All right. Ashanti clapbacks at Irv Gotti. Did you get to hear any of these clips, Slick?
Nah, I ain't really. I stopped giving a fuck about that situation. Niggas lie on their dick every day. Girls lie on their coochie every day. Everybody lies. Some shot.
I'm happy though for her. I'm happy that she standing up for herself and giving her side of the story. She was quiet. You know what? And I respect it even more that she let the shit die down first before and let shit cool over. As if you didn't know, she sat down with Angie Martinez in her new podcast and kind of explained sort of why she wasn't part of the Murder Inc. documentary and what really went on with Irv Gotti. And it sounds like Irv Gotti didn't know.
You're nasty, man.
Huh?
He's a nasty man.
Yeah. Nasty man. You want to play one clip?
Yeah, I got it.
Consistently saying to you, you ain't shit, fuck you, you're not even fucking loyal. I made you. I made the world want to fuck you. You know what I'm saying? He would say, he would say, niggas want to fuck you because I made you look like that. I made you fuckable. In those exact words.
Nasty.
But it's narcissism.
Nasty.
It's all narcissism, bro. It's legit like that idea. Like, she's talented. She was gorgeous before you got with her. You put her out there, sure, but like, She fucking with like you and now you forcing like the shit about. I think the Red Eye shit I read said something about he said she wouldn't be able to record if she ain't fuck him or some shit like that. Like, that's nasty work. That's power influence that's used in the wrong way.
Bruh.
And you over here
and niggas getting too full of themselves.
Absolutely.
Now I know you're a fan of the internet, the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I didn't know Steve Lacy was from the internet. But I didn't even know he had the #1 song in the country for a minute with Bad Habits.
Well, I played that on the pod a couple weeks ago. You don't listen to my shit. That's crazy.
No, I don't. Love you, bro, but no. Well, apparently nobody really knows his music because he's been getting into it with fans, and it's been. And the reason why I put this up here is because of all these artists looking for that TikTok viral hit. Not necessarily him. Because he did have he like I said, he was with the internet. He's been in this music industry for a minute, and I don't think he was advocating for his record to be TikTok viral. But there was like a video I saw recently at one of the concert where the people only know the snippet from TikTok, and then when they try to get into the verse, it was quiet, and he was trying to ask them to sing along, and they looked crazy.
Nah, that shit different, boy.
It looked crazy. They could only sing that some small snippet from TikTok, and the rest of the song they can't. So now, and I can see how he kind of regrets it now because it's kind of like, are y'all really respecting my craft? Or y'all really respecting the record because y'all really like it? Or y'all just like it because it went TikTok viral now?
Man, it's fast. You know what it is? This music is dope. It's just a matter like people want it. We're think about it. I know maybe not for you. You've been, I ain't gonna say how you get your music, but you still archaic and loving to listen to full albums and owning having the full joints and shit like that. But we're being programmed to like shorter and shorter songs. Poland by fucking Lil Yachty is a minute long, and it's not about the content. It's not about the content. Listen to what I'm saying. It's a minute long, and we bumped that shit like that shit 3.5 minutes. We run that shit back to back.
I took the walk to Poland.
But I'm just saying, like, we're programmed for that. So most people don't know. They don't know what he's saying on that shit. It's a minute long, and niggas only know I took the WAP to Poland. You feel me? So I feel for Steve Lacy as an artist because I think that's one thing. It's very artistic in his delivery of his music. But that's kind of just the situation we live in. If you want to hit, because think about it, would Bad Habit have been a hit prior to the TikTok era?
No.
Would it have even charted prior to the TikTok era?
Probably not.
Probably. It would have been tough. So it's like you got to take the good with the bad in these situations, unfortunately. Damn, we had an hour and some change.
Damn, we out here. We out here. Damn, I can't even really do my whole birthday playlist for my guy, Drizzy Drake Rises. You feel me? Drake stands for do right and kill everything. You feel me? If you didn't know, his birthday, shout out to my guy 36. I'm glad you didn't retire at 35 the way you said in that track before. Shout out to the GOAT, top 2, not 2. Fuck Kendrick, fuck J. Cole. They ain't with shit out here. You heard? The GOAT. And even though I'm kind of upset that he pushed back the album with 21 Savage, that was supposed to come out, tomorrow. It's coming out November 4th. Her loss. The fucking vibe. You hear me? And fake Drake, stop dick riding. That's why he sent you a cease and desist letter to stop dick riding my guy over here. How the fuck you having a boxing match looking dusty and dirty and getting your ass knocked the fuck out like that, nigga? Look stupid. You look dumb. Stop it, nigga. You are not Drake.
That was powerful. Happy birthday, Drizzy.
Feel me? We was gonna do a whole playlist, but hey, we ain't trying to keep you here for too long and shit.
Yeah, we got
all right, song of the week.
20 more minutes. I don't even know if I'm gonna play 2 of these. I'm gonna only play 2 just for time services. So y'all know what to do. Y'all know not to listen to this shit on YouTube. At this point. All right, my
first Lil Durk, Risky. All right, that's our song of the week. You already know the Stilo. Go listen to our song of the week. Go to Apple Music playlist. And our AMP show's coming very soon, so go check for a lookout for that. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for the people's choice, the people's favorite. Slick, drop it.
I can be toxic, but so what? You gonna love it here. Shit, fuck is you talking about? We have fun over here. It's very fun here.
And it's fun indeed. Welcome to the TSA, Toxic Service Announcement. No guests this week, even though I know y'all like last week's episode. You feel me? Shout out to Tina Fey. That episode is probably one of my top favorite. But yeah, this week we got some stuff that we wanted to talk about. Now, this first one is Slick. You know, one of the usual topics we talked about, Kevin Samuels. It turns out there are some women here that are missing Kevin Samuels over here, man. And this is crazy because as much as feud that he caused while he was living, it's kind of crazy that now they're kind of missing him.
He was a very powerful voice in the community, I feel like. Regardless of whether you agree with him or not, it started a dialogue. It was definitely one of those things where it's like, hey, yeah, maybe I don't like what you're saying, but shit, nigga, I gotta argue. Or, hey, this guy's kind of got a point, you know?
Wait, hold up. I want you to.
What happened? Uh-oh. We lost him again, y'all. Bandwidth problems. We ain't paid the bills. What'd you say?
I play this clip real quick.
Got you.
First off, let me just say thank y'all. It was a lot of support from the men, and I'm not a pick-me, but fellas, I do have to agree with Kevin Samuels because it hit me yesterday what he was talking about. And even though, y'all, I didn't like how Kevin was talking to women, and at first I was like, what you mean what I bring to the table? I am the table. No, you're not. No, you're not. And that's okay. That's okay. Because I have to be honest with myself, y'all, and accountability. And it hurts. It hurts being honest with yourself, y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. This is not a pity page, y'all, but accountability hurts. And I know that's the first step. And I realized last night, y'all, I just had a moment. And I'm not one of those people that be crying for the camera and stuff, y'all. But I just had a moment. And I was like, bitch, you fucked up.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on this, Slick? Oh, wait, let me say something real quick. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. I do not agree with everything that Kevin Samuels said. And also, I've been a fan. I heard about him and watched his shows prior to him being viral. And I would like to give him the credit that he was a equally bashing guy for both men and women. So for a lot of women think he was just coming after black women. To be honest with you, in his beginning stages, it was mostly about men. And the reason why I don't agree with him too much is because he comes from a real traditional old man background. But I understand some of his thought process on certain things, and I kind of hated that towards the end of his career, it was sort of like a gender war between him and black women, and it was sort of just like a fight to prove who was wrong instead of actually looking to see how we can improve black love, sort of thing. But go ahead, Slick.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that it is tough, male or female, to really look within oneself and just be like, yeah, nah, I'm fucking up. I think as guys, we are more conditioned to do it. We're always told we're fucking up from sports. We was told we was fucking up. Remember, from the time you like 8 years old and you do something wrong, they telling you, nah, what the fuck are you doing? Da, 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 da. And it's like you're kind of like, yo, I'm gonna do certain things. I'm gonna make certain choices. Hopefully, I don't know how to fuck it up, but you're used to hearing that, especially in relationships. You get told guys ain't shit. This is why girls won't want to date and this, that, and this shit. You got to play catch up based off whatever girls emotionally develop faster than all of that things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Kevin Samuels, again, started out with guys, and you mentioned this like 30, 40 episodes ago. He really didn't get popular until he started having those debates with the women that wanted to jump on the show and have those conversations. And he was talking about things from the perspective, it was an old-timey perspective, but it was also like, hey, the system that we had is kind of flipped on its head now. Men are being lazy, thinking they deserve bad women. Women are setting unrealistic standards, not expectations. Well, I guess expectations and standards for who they should be with, without taking into account their current situation, right? On both ends,
or just the current situation of the world. To be honest with you, when we break down the percentage of the guys who fits that description, you realize it's a rare commodity.
A lot of unicorns out there, right? So I think now we're in a position where we feel like, well, that voice isn't there, that consistent voice. Other people are trying to fill it, but it's like, you got who? What's that? What's the Andrew dude's name? Who be talking crazy?
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, Andrew
now,
Tate.
He's sort of different.
He's very radical in terms of his thinking.
Yeah, he's a little more radical.
But I'm saying it's a lot of people people that's like trying to fill that void, but also or trying to follow that model. I'm like, nah, bro, you just straight up shitting on people. You feel me? And I think that's the scary part, but I think that's why you can appreciate in hindsight. It's easier to take something time after time once you get a chance to really live with your emotions. I think that when something does happen, especially as it seems to be currently, when you tell a woman she's wrong or she's doing something that's unbecoming or that you don't like, it's like, initially it might, who the fuck you talking to? Like, I can do whatever I want, until it's like, oh damn, I had something good, I should have listened. Yeah, accountability.
Because it's hard to do self-reflection sometimes.
Yeah,
it's hard because you have to come in terms with your wrongdoing and shame. And you know what? I think this goes perfectly into the second topic that we have with the women that you sent the video earlier.
I did,
and that shit spoke truth. It's probably not a really toxic topics today. This episode not toxic at all. We was having a real therapy session this episode. If y'all came from last week, I apologize. We might get back to our toxicity next week.
We were told not to breathe last week. We were told to fuck and spend money and barely breathe, and that was it. So if we chose to unpack that and think therapeutically about life, I apologize, but I don't. Shout out to Tina. All right, I'm gonna play the video.
Women have a hard time taking responsibility. We have a hard time being shown ourselves. And I've come to realize that women are very, very prideful. Like, men have egos, but women are very prideful. And the reason why we have a hard time being shown who we are is because the opposite of pride is shame. And we don't want to feel that shame because it is very painful. Wow. But let me tell you something. You have nothing to be shameful about simply because you're imperfect. We are all imperfect. The best gift, one of the best gifts you can give your husband is when he says, babe, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I see in you. This is where you can improve. This is the adjustments I think that you can make, is to sit back and think about it. And then say, you know what, babe, I can see where I can do better in that area.
Okay, now I don't want to put this solely on. I hope women don't feel too attacked, but you have to understand where us guys coming from with social media these days. We realize there's no sympathy for us, and I think we're kind of cool with that.
Very accepting.
A little bit.
We got no choice. Women want social media. We want to be funny. You gotta take the L.
But I think if you listening to this toxic segment, which is not really too toxic, this episode, I hope you really take the time to reflect on certain things, because you have to understand from our point of view, and this is why I get a lot of a tug of war battle with us sometimes, because as guys, we are trying to listen to you because we're not perfect. I hope you ever listen to our podcast or listen to any episode thinking that we, oh my God, so advocate and guys don't do nothing. No, we do not come from that standpoint. But we try to listen to what y'all say. Y'all critiques about us and how we can be better. But you know why it's sort of hard to listen sometimes is when we can see that y'all not following. It's like sort of like, you can't listen to someone who's not doing what they're saying they're doing.
Yeah, it's the model of like, don't do as I do as I say. It's like, what? That doesn't make sense if we're both adults.
Yeah,
I hated that shit as a kid.
So what this woman was saying is true sometimes, because it's kind of like we see it a lot of times. It's like, I don't want to get the response, and it's okay. I want to tell you, it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to be imperfect. I think that's I don't think there's no problem with that. I'm coming from a space of healings. Like I feel the healing vibe. I think maybe what you said earlier in this pod inspired me not to be as toxic as I can be usually. Coming from a place of healing, women, it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to make a mistake and understand that you made a mistake. It's okay. You not think of any lower than anything else. I feel like sometimes I don't think it's safe enough for you guys to make a mistake. So there's a lot of pressure for you to be perfect. So then with you being perfect, you try to find any single way to sway a situation into your favor, but not understanding that by doing that, you're creating a toxic environment, or you're creating a situation that don't need to be created to begin with. So I'm telling you here, not only to accept responsibility, but it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay not to have things, and it's okay to make mistakes. We are all human, and we are all imperfect. By whatever religion you fall under, it's okay. What's your thoughts, Slick?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I feel like, as a man in a relationship, I think I more so value when we can admit things are not perfect. I don't have to worry about I think the biggest thing for a guy is the hardest thing is like, yo, I'm gonna tell you how I feel and you're gonna get mad about it. So now I gotta apologize for being I gotta apologize for which initially upset me, like I was wrong, and it creates that precedent or that unfair narrative that it create or reinforces that you didn't do anything wrong, and I think that, like you said, perfection is fake, and we all know our partners are not perfect. I think those imperfections and being able to work through them are what really make relationships worth it. Because if you're not willing to work through it, you're not really meant to be in a relationship with that person. So you can't walk through life and relationships with kid gloves on. Like, hey, this happened. I didn't like this. I felt this way. You might not even understand it, but sometimes you might even feel like your partner's tweaking on both sides, right? But to hear them out and actually make that connection of, try to see where they're coming from, maybe even look at outside resources, and don't go to like the friend that's always gonna hype you like that nigga wild. Like, go to somebody, people like trying to accountability for in all situations. You need to have that. You feel me? So like you said it perfectly, bro. Like that is just really just like, and the video summarizes it too. Like that pride and ego. Men have egos. We want our egos stroked, right? And we will invalidate our relationships to validate our egos, right? Women have pride, and women will validate their pride at the expense of, looking, of anything that can cause shame. They will try to, withhold whatever you're holding against them.
That's a fact.
Or not even say holding against them, but whatever they're doing, whatever action or act that they might be participating in that is making it hard for you to fully engage with them and pretend that, and like that's where we're at. And I think that's probably the best way to summarize that. It's pride versus ego.
Yeah, and the thing about it is also having pride and having ego is not a bad thing. Just for the young listeners, if y'all are listening, it's not a bad thing. But knowing when to use it or when to embrace it and when to know how to pack it up, it's a life lesson and it's a great thing to know. You feel me? Sometimes you can't always lead with your ego and pride, because that will just get you in a whirlwind of trouble and get you a situation that you don't need to be.
Yep. Like I said, men fulfill that ego, women try to fulfill that, try to validate that pride, and then you end up in a fuck situation, and it's like, well, it didn't have to get here, But we also
and that's how certain relationships do not work out, because it's kind of like, damn, I let my ego get in the way, and you just kind of like, damn, we was really good. It wasn't really too much problems that we had. It could have been easily a miscommunication. And you realize certain things, and I guess go back to piggyback on what we talked about in the beginning of this episode. Once we're able to step away from certain situations, look at it from a different perspective, or give ourselves a chance to step back and look at certain things, we realize things can be simply solved
with a conversation.
An
honest and open conversation. Don't just say what you think somebody wants to hear. Sometimes you have to give them what they need and live with the consequences of them, especially if action is predicated that on both sides.
And that's a fact. And also, that was a perfect way to end it, but I forgot to add one more thing. and also how you is how you say it too. Communicating how you say it, because one thing I do hate is the brutally honest type of person. Yeah, that's cool in certain situations, but you can't. By just telling her exactly, because it's sort of like how when a woman tries to get you to do something, there's a way to talk to your partner to get him to do something, and there's a way to talk to your other partner just to let them know that you are not, you didn't appreciate this certain action or appreciate this. It's all about communication and knowing your partner and knowing what triggers them, and then also when they do come for something that you did. Do not feel so attacked. You have to still understand that person loves you. And don't feel like you have to be in such a defensive mode.
Yeah, everything.
Nigga, we about to charge you niggas right here for therapy session. Come up to the This Might Not Go Well therapy session. Me and Slick book your appointments now, niggas. We out here. You heard?
Whatever, nigga.
Anything you want to add?
No, it's fine. Let's let them relax now. It's cool.
Yeah, we gave y'all, next week we might get toxic again. Fuck it. You feel me? We gave y'all some good shit. Hopefully y'all get some good lessons out of it. Like I said, this podcast is about righteousness and ratchetness. So you might get a little bit of both or might get one or the other. But anyways, I'm the host with the most, B Breezy, aka Poppy Size Zone.
It's your boy Slick Grayson. Y'all be great and we'll see y'all next week.
Take out.
Just take the beats. Try to tell them we up next, you can't stop that. This your favorite podcast. Every show is lit, baby. You know what we finna do. Slick gon' talk that slick talk, he gon' get political. Okay. Do not switch topics, niggas is toxic. Poppy shots don't always saying something wrong, but if you don't like it, what we saying, nigga, oh well. We try to tell you, baby, this might not go well. This might not go. Hey, that's it. One take. We're not even doing it again. Keep that. That's the one.